Hello everyone, welcome to SST College of Arts and Commerce. This is SST Edupedia. I am Assistant Professor Amrita Harjani. Today we will be discussing about International HRM subject Human Resource Management regarding third year TYBMS students of Human Resource Specialization. Subject name is Human Resource Management in Global Perspective. Let us first get an understanding about the various concepts like international, multinational and what are transnational organizations. When we are talking of international companies or organizations means the transport of the businesses outside its home country, and each of its operations are the replica of its company's domestic experience, as well as the companies are offering the various multiple products and they are even finding it challenging to remain it as an organized company. So they are, most of them are getting involved to become more of multinational companies. Now what are multinational companies? They are growing there and defining their business on a worldwide basis, but they are continuing to allocate its resources among the regional or national areas to maximize its total. What are the global organizations? They treat the entire world through as one large country. Maybe the entire company or one of its more of its product lines may be operating with a mixture of two or more organizational structures simultaneously. Transnational organization, here we are using the specialized facilities to permit local responsiveness because they are more focusing upon the local level. More complex coordination mechanism is here to provide a global integration. This is a diagrammatic representation of all the four various subcategories of the companies or organizations. We can see the global efficiency is high at global organizations, whereas local responsiveness is high towards multinational companies. What is international human resource management? Here, all the human resource problems of multinational firms in foreign subsidiaries is being unfolded along with the various HR issues that are associated with the various stages of internationalization process. Here, a lot of complexity is being involved in terms of operations, like across the various diverse national context. Different kind of multinational enterprises units are working, so different national characteristics are involved. The major objectives of IHRM is to avoid the different multicultural risk, to avoid the regional disparities, to reduce the risk of international human resource, and to manage the diversified human resource capital. The features of human resource IHRM, that is the various characteristics that it involves, is employment of the right people at the right time for the right job, because here various geographical locations are involved. Here it requires the development of long-term HR plan to make sure that it results into effective alignment of HR strategies with the cooperative objectives. Along with it, there is an involvement of the development of the employee skills, plus there is different compensations involved of parent, host country as well as the third country nationals. So a uniform compensation package is also required. There is even centralized reporting relationships among the world for faster information system. There are certain issues that are involved with IHRM. It means there is variety of international models that are existing. Apart from this, managing various people in different countries in different environment again is a bit tougher task. Repatriation, the person who is moving to host country and coming back in between because of little bit of difficulties being there in the adjustment of the various cultures or environment, so they are coming back, so that is repatriate. So that is again one kind of issue that is being faced. In case of there are different models that are involved, might be that are varying in terms of the human resource policies or practices, so again that is differing. Differences between domestic and IHRM, there are certain categories that are making it differ in terms of taxation, culture, their orientation pattern, the various services, administrative tasks that they are giving it, as well as involvement of employees, personal, family, culture over here, environment over here is completely different as compared to there. The workforce pattern of the expatriates and the locals are getting variant. The risk exposure again is different. When we are talking of terrorism, okay, expatriate failure, all these are nothing but the differences between domestic and IHRM. There are even complexities in terms of nationalities. There is different cultural environment, attitudes of the senior management, along with there is different industries like MNCs, their working patterns are also differing. This is a diagrammatic representation of moderate differences between the domestic HR and IHRM. We can see here the cultural environment, their market, the attitude of the senior management, as well as the industries that are involved, that is MNCs companies, and the operation pattern, the complexities that are involved in the structure of operations. So we can see all these activities and their differences. Again, this is an brief major difference point between domestic and IHRM. The business activities, the complexities, the involvement of the employees in regarding their personal life, as well as various risks that are involved, all these are resulting into creating the differences. Three types of countries are involved when we are talking of IHRM: home country, host country, and we are talking of third country nationals. Home country is also known as parent country nationals. What is expatriate? One of the very important term in IHRM. When an employee who is working temporarily, residing in the foreign country but is the citizen of the home country, so they are being considered as an international assignees. So expatriates are nothing but they are from parent country, but their operations, their headquarters are either transferred to third country nationals, or they are being transferred to host country nationals. There are certain cultural differences which are being seen in IHRM. We are talking of various languages. We know that each and every country is having its own language, having its own political climate, or various operation patterns, like different labor law systems are there. Their technology advancement level will also be different. There are different values, attitude patterns, the roles of religion. Yes, one of the very important, like holiday structure, their prayer pattern, the education level, as well as different social organizations that are involved. So all of them are creating into lot of differences. Multicultural management, wherein two countries, two nationals are involved, different people are gathering at one place from different cultures, they are interacting regularly. So that term is being known as multiculturalism, in which there is different creativity being seen, innovation is seen, people are getting more aware about new things. Foreign customers, to attain foreign customers, we need to practice their culture, lot of training and development is being required. Super organization culture is needed to be created among all the best of all the cultures. So accepting all the HR policies and practices at one level is very important. Benefits of multiculturalism. As I said, there will be lot of innovations, there will be lot of possibility of hiring the best talent. As well as there is involvement of universally accepting the HR policies and practices. Different challenges that are being there in IHRM. We see that lot of failure ratio is very high in terms of expatriate and repatriate. People are getting deployed in terms of skills irrespective of their geographical locations. In case of knowledge and innovation, there is dissemination, because lot of critical knowledge and speed of information flow again is a critical task. Talent identification and development. Lot of barriers in terms of women's, in terms of being faced for IHRM. When we are talking of the various geographical locations, moving from one place to another is again for many women considered as kind of barrier. There is ethics in terms of international boundaries. When we are code of conduct that is to be followed, again is a kind of challenge. Languages, as I said earlier, various labor laws, political systems, religions and all. Qualities of global managers. It is required to understand this as a worldwide business. When we are required to learn about many cultures, we are living in innovative cultures, and when we are accepting that managers globally, they are understanding their foreign assignments, they are understanding their colleagues also, so they are aware about their pattern, that how to proceed with this very well. Diversity in workforce is also being seen irrespective of various backgrounds, religion, ethnicity. There is lot of gender discrimination is also there. Various genders are being seen, race, age, all these are resulting into working under one umbrella. This will result into creating a multiculturalism. There are a lot of key issues that are being seen in international HRM. When we are talking of human resource planning, how to result into recruitment, selection part, repatriation and performance appraisal, as well as orientation, training, all the human resource elements. Lot of issues are being seen, because we are here talking of two countries at a stretch. Compensation. Here when we are talking of compensation, means here compensation in terms of salary part, bonus, incentives, other benefits that are being given. So during dealing with inflations and unexpected changes which are being there in the exchange rates, so lot of sufficient pay and patience is required when we are talking of compensation. Uniformity is required. Housing, complex problems at home and overseas. Benefits planning, in terms of benefits giving to different categories of personnel, developing equity among employees. There is even taxation policies according to the new laws. Communication of HR policies and programs worldwide. Face to face contacting frequently, making policies manuals brief and simple. We need to be sensitive in terms of needs of receiver. To treat communication as a continuous process is the major thing. Sending regular written explanations of policy changes and periodic rotation of overseas HR managers desirably. Thank you everyone for patiently listening.